What is going on? It is Chris here, and today I'm making a life story about the first time I tried acid. Hope you guys enjoy. And this was kind of a big leap in my life for me to get involved in and start doing. Um, I was just getting into smoking and starting heavily smoking like a lot, like 6 times a day maybe. And So I was at school one day, and I hear from my friend that his uncle was selling these tabs, right? And he's like, "Oh, bro, these are really good tabs. Like you should maybe try it if you want." Like he wasn't really peer pressuring me, but like I was kind of curious, so I was like, why not? And so he kind of did some sketchy shit for like a week and like avoided me, but like kind of not. And it was kind of weird with the situation because it was kind of in between like friends. Like it was like there was like a middleman, but it was, yeah, and it was very complicated because I had to wait like I think like 8 days until I actually like got it. And so I wait these 8 days impatiently as fuck. Um, just waiting for like answers, call back, like delivery dates, like all of this, and it was so sketchy because like I had to give the money to a friend who had to give the money to a friend, and then he had to go buy it, and then he had to give it back, and then give it back to me. So I mean, I wouldn't really suggest to do that like ever, because you could really get fucked over. But these were some really chill people, which I was okay with doing this with, and I get to school one day, and I'm ready. I see the person that I'm supposed to get it from. I walk up to her and I'm like, hey, do you have it? And she's like, you already know. And then like slides me this baggie really sketchily under the fucking cafeteria table, and I'm like, okay, so how do I take it? And she's like, well, I don't know. I've never done it, but I I think you put it on your tongue. And I'm like, okay, like, because at this point I had no idea what acid was. I just heard it and like researched like a little bit of the effects and stuff. I didn't really like know what to do with it or how to take it or. So I run to the bathroom like not even 5 minutes later, and I'm texting all my friends, and then because I was getting three for like my friends and stuff. So I go into the bathroom and I'm looking at these like tiny little squares, and I'm like, what do I do with these? So I look at him, and the principal walks in the fucking bathroom, and he's like, "Hey, are you alright? I saw you walk in here," and I fucking take all of them, like just straight, like I eat all three. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I felt like I was gonna throw up," and like he's like, "Alright, do you need me to go like get the nurse, make sure you're okay and stuff?" And I'm like, "No, no, I'm fine. I'll get through the day. It's cool." And so I'm headed to first period, and I think it was language arts. So I was chilling language arts, and I was staring at my water bottle, right? Because I would always bring like a water bottle or Arizona or something, just keep that refreshing rate going up. And so I'm staring at this bottle, right? And it it starts moving, and then I start to like like smile, but like not necessarily a smile. It's more like a smirk, like people were giving me weird looks, and I was just like looking back at them and like looking back at my bottle and just seeing it breathing, and then like I looked down and I noticed like the patterns on the desks are like changing and like shifting, and I got handed a test, and I was like, I immediately did not know what the fuck to do. So I was sitting there, and I ended up like finishing the test, and I got like a B on it or something, and which I don't even know how, but I after first period I run into the bathroom and I look at my face, and like there's a bunch of people in the bathroom, vaping, like chilling, just not really giving a fuck, and I was sitting there, and I was just thinking to myself, like, what the what did I do? Like, oh my god. And so I'm walking through the hallway, right? And I was wearing black Vans at the time, and there's like these black square tiles in the middle of like the floor or whatever, and I was like looking down, and I just stopped dead ass in the hallway, and I fucking looked down, and it looks like they're like seeping over like my feet, and like I don't really like question it, and then like I just kind of stared at it, and then my friend came up to me, and he's like, "Hey, I heard that you took acid today. Are you alright, man?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I'm fine. I don't really know what to do. I'm just kind of, standing in the hallway. No, no, I'm lost as fuck. I don't even know what period it is." He's like, give me your schedule. Like, we're going to your class, and you're gonna sit through that bitch." And so we ended up finding like my way to like the second period, which I think was like math or some shit. And so I was sitting in there, and this is where like shit started like getting really fucking strong. And I was just I was just chilling there, and like slowly like coming up and like realizing what's actually fucking happening, and I'm like, why the fuck did I do this shit? So I finally like get through with that hell of a period, listening to music and like drawing on the corner of my paper and shit, just trying to like distract my mind from like the classroom and stuff. And I get to lunch, and I'm with like all my groups of friends and stuff, and like the cafeterias are really overwhelming, so we go to like the outside portion where I'm sitting, like where I usually sit, like after we're done eating, but like I didn't really feel comfortable inside the cafeteria. So I went outside, and I ended up just staring at these like mesmerizing fucking trees in the background, and I started giggling to myself, and I'm like, I said something about the trees like waving and being happy, and then like all my friends started laughing, which like instantaneously made me laugh. And then I remember looking at my phone, letters like growing and shrinking, and I couldn't really like fucking make out what was going on my phone, so I turned my phone off. And then completely forgot I was playing music in the background. So like I turned my phone off while playing music, and like that like killed the entire thing for some reason. And I was just kind of sitting there and getting like weird vibes and shit, because like the teachers were staring at me and stuff, and I was like laughing and like like fidgeting with my hands and stuff. And so I decided to turn my phone back on, and I started listening to music, getting like a little bit more comfortable and stuff. And so then I had my fourth period, and like I don't even know what the fuck to do at this point, because I was peaking, and like I was uh I was in science, and I kind of decided to go to the bathroom, right? So I get up and I go over to the board, because we have these passes that the teachers just hand out and stuff. And I go up and I sign out for the pass, and then I forget the pass. I have to walk all the way back next to like, cause her desk was across the room. So like, and the pass was over at her desk. So I walk out the door. She's like, "Hey, you forgot the pass." So I walk back. I grab the pass, and it's like stuck on the hook. So I'm like sitting there like fucking fidgeting with the hook. The classroom's dead fucking silent, and I'm like struggling. And I finally get it off the hook, and I get out the door, and I'm gone for like maybe like 15 minutes. Just like chilling in the bathroom, like kind of trying to catch my breath and stuff, and like being on my phone, texting my friends like come meet up with me, and let me get that nicotine fix, mellow out and chill out. So I end up heading back to class, and I think this is the point where I was like super fucking like peaking, like the highest point of the trip. And I remember looking at the teacher, and I look down at my seat, and I go to walk over to my seat, but like I remember I still had the pass in my hand, so I walk over to the desk, and I try and put it on the hook, but the hook was wiggling like vigorously, like I've never seen anything like the fucking hook, like it was like a worm on dry pavement, like. So I get it, and I drop the pass like on the floor, and it's like almost eye level. So like it's kind of like a big drop, and everybody's just like staring at me. And so I like pick it up, I put it back on the hook, and I go over to my seat, and I like start listening to music. And my friend was actually in there that like knew I was tripping and stuff. And like I had somebody in like every class as like a sitter, so I'd like go from class to class, like getting help from like different people and stuff. So that one for that class, he's like, "Dude, I can really tell. And I'm like, I know. I'm so sorry. He's like, don't be sorry. Just be fucking safe. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna live by that. And he just looked at me the weirdest like face like after I said that. Like I was sitting there and I start to feel it like ease off a little, and I was like, okay, maybe I can actually manage this. And I go through the rest of the day, you know, like just coming down, like getting ready to go home and stuff. And I'm getting ready to go on the bus, and I meet up with like all my friends that I was supposed to take them with, and like I uh, I basically took like half the dosage of each tab, and so I give the tabs out to my friends like pre-licked and shit, and I'm like, all right, here you go, like this is the business. And then we're on the bus, you know, going home. My friend was you know, just starting to like, you know, get high and like all this shit, and he's never tried it, and he wanted to try it. So I think he said like something about like a baby's crying, but no, like there's literally no children in his neighborhood, so like he felt like he was going insane. So I was like, yeah, no, not for you anymore. And I gave it to one other friend, but she didn't really have like a profound experience like I did, because like I feel like I kind of ingested in all of it. But yeah, so I go home, and you know, the trip's basically over. I get in the shower. I ended up passing out until like 12 a.m. and then I got up and I felt so tired. Like I just remember my body feeling like so heavy, and I was so out of energy, like not knowing like anything. Like I felt brain dead. I was like I was exhausted. And then like the next day at school I was dragging myself around, and like people were asking me like from the next day. They were just like, dude, like what the fuck were you doing yesterday? Like, if you guys did enjoy this video, please drop a like, and I hope I can make more content in the near future for you. And let me know in the comments what games you'd like to see, and I'll catch you guys later.